and Assalamu alaikum. This is your teacher from IYS Schools, Muhammadi Girls Campus, and we are having our English class of class 5. This is our third class, okay, and we will be doing our additional matter in this class. This is your activity English book cover page of your book, so you should have it along with you. So the instructions. Before we start our lessons, we should follow some instructions. Okay, you should have your active English class 5 course book and workbook along with you. You should also have a pencil and a notebook to note down or jot down the important points. So let's look at the slide. Listen to the lesson attentively. Follow your teacher's instruction. Take screenshots of the slides where needed to work of course book and workbook respectively, and do the copy work in your English copy. Is it clear? So you will use a blue ink pen to do the exercises in the course book and workbook. Use a blue fountain pen to do the work in your course book and workbook. And in your copies also, the questions and the headings will be written with a black pointer, and the work will be done with a blue fountain pen, okay, blue ink pen. So you can ask questions in the chat box, or you can also raise your hand if you have any query. Register yourselves with your name and not your mobile number so that it becomes easy for me to take your attendance. I repeat, I have to take your attendance to register yourself with your names. Is it clear, students? So now, what are the today's topic? Today's topic are additional matter, writing topic of a course book and workbook, and the essay, okay? We'll be doing an essay. In a previous class, we did a letter. So today we'll be doing an essay. So let's look at the additional matter. What's the additional matter? Additional matter is of simple present tense, simple past tense, and simple future tense. You're all familiar with these tenses as you have already done them in your class 4. Okay, now let's look at what's the simple present tense definition. Simple present tense is also called present indefinite tense. It is used to express general statements and to describe actions that are usual or habitual in nature. In simple words, we can say the simple present tense is used to describe routine acts. That's something you do as a routine work. It indicates an action which happens in the present, but isn't necessary for the actions to happen right now. Simple present tense indicates unchanging situations, general truths, scientific facts, habits, fixed arrangements, and frequently occurring events. Now let's look at the structure of the simple present tense. Now let's look at the positive sign. That's the affirmative or positive sentences. So the affirmative and positive structure is subject plus verb. That is the base form of verb. S and ES for the third person plus object. Like the example I have written, Romy loves to eat burgers. Okay, Romy loves to eat burgers. Here the verb's base form is being used. Now come to the negative one. Minus sign indicates the negative one. Subject plus do dash plus not plus verb plus first plus object. So Romy does not love to eat burgers. If I use, instead of Romy, if I use I, so I'll say I do not love to eat burgers. Okay? So now come to the question mark. Question mark says it's an interrogative sentence. The first, the do or does, that are the helping verbs, will come first, plus subject, plus verb's first form or the base form, plus object, and the very necessary is the question mark at the end of the sentence. Okay? So the sentence example is, does Romy love to eat burgers? Okay, does Romy love to eat burgers? Now let's see the usages and the examples, the rules of the simple present tense. To make simple statements, if you have to make a statement, you'll use simple present tense. I take breakfast daily. That is something you are stating that what you do daily, that I take breakfast daily. Number two, to show permanent facts. That means the facts that cannot be changed. The sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. It cannot be changed. The sun rises in the east. The sun sets in the west. These are the permanent facts. To describe the feelings or emotions. That means something you're feeling, you are having an emotion that is you can't change. Like I become nervous during the exam. Of course, during every exam you become nervous, so you can't change that emotion or feeling of yours. So I become nervous during the exams. Now, to show a habitual action, something you are doing you do regularly or you're in habit of doing. He takes exercise daily for 30 minutes. He takes exercise daily for 30 minutes. To state recurring act, something that occurs after a certain period of time. That means it snows every winter. That means in winter it snows. To mathematical or scientific statements. These statements are mathematical or scientific. Like 2 plus 2 equals to 4. This is a mathematical statement and it will not change. It won't become 5. Okay? And the scientific statement, water freezes at 0 degrees centigrade. Now, at 0 degrees centigrade, the water will freeze. Now, let's look at some other rules. To give instructions or demonstrations. That means something you are demonstrating, showing to others, or you're giving instructions. Like if I'm showing someone to bake a cake or cookies, bake the cookies in the oven for 20 minutes. If you exceed this time limit, then the cake or the cookies will get burnt. Time and date. That means a certain time period or a day when something happens. The bus leaves at 8 o'clock daily. That means at 8 o'clock the bus leaves daily. Announcements in the media, that is television, radio or newspaper, etc. Something that means that the announcement that does not change, that is exactly the same. Global viruses exceed 1 million. So this statement will be the same on the television, on radio, and on the newspaper. Okay. Now, let's see some examples. I start, positive, that is affirmative. Negative, I do not start. Question, do I start? Positive, affirmative, that is you start. You don't start or you do not start. Do not contraction is don't. Do you start? That's the interrogative sentence with a question mark. She starts. He, she is third person. So she does not start. She doesn't start. He doesn't start. Does he start is a question. Does she start is a question or an interrogative sentence. It starts. It doesn't start. Does it start? We start. We don't start. Do we start? They start. They do not start. Or they don't start. Do they start? So these are certain examples of present continuous tense. Now let's see if we are able to do the exercise. Fill in the blanks with the correct form of verb. The government dash 5-hour complete lockdown for 1 month. Let's see if you can answer me in the chat box. So, chat box. Panyapuram, the topic name is the tenses, additional matter, simple present, simple past, and simple. Aisha, you are wrong. You are using the past tense form of the verb. Yes. Okay, Ima, you are wrong. The correct answer to this is the government announces 5-hour lockdown for 1 month. That means it is something in the present. You don't use the past tense. Either you use the verb's first form with S or ES. Okay? Now let's look at the other example. Tom dashed with his teacher in all matter. Consult. Now let's see. Alaya, this is the additional matter. You have to do it on your own. Vanya, Aisha, you are right. Yes. Insha, you are right, but ES will not come, S will come. Fabiha, you are wrong. You are using the past tense of the verb. Let's see. Tom consults with his teacher in all matter. Number 3. Our hostel dash of 30 room consists. Now let's see who answers me. Bariha? Yes, either you will use the first form of verb. If it's third person, then you will use SES. Insha, Manahil, Ariba, Minhil, Aisha, Alina. Yes, you are right, beta. The answer is consists. Our hostel consists of 30 rooms. Okay, make sure of the spellings. Number 4. They dash each other, not cooperate. Now let's see who answers me. Now let's see the answer to this. They do not cooperate. Aisha, Abid, yes, you are right, beta. Alina, you will use do with it because they not cooperate, they do not cooperate. Ishal, you are right. Okay. Insha, you are wrong. It will come do not cooperate. They do not cooperate each other. Now let's see the 5th one. She dash after his mother. She, Ishal, you are right, beta. She does not look after his mother. Take the screenshot of the slide so that it becomes easy for you to do it in your workbook, in your copies. Sorry, I repeat, you have to do this work in your copies with the heading of simple present tense, exercise, and the question and the sentences. Okay, now let's move to the 6th one. We dash bath daily. We, who will answer me? Let's see. We dash bath daily. Alina, yes, beta. Good, keep it up. Fabiha, Aisha, S will not come. We, it's not a third person. We take bath daily. The old woman dash number 7. The old woman sells the beautiful flowers. Insha, Fabiha, yes, beta, you are right. I dash the Holy Quran daily, recite. Now let's see who answers me. Yes, Manahil, I recite. No, S will not come and it is not the third person. Ariba, you are right. I recite the Holy Quran daily. So now, number 9. He dashed his summer vacation at hill station. So, spend. He, Manahil, yes, you are right. Alina, you're wrong. He is the third person here. So, he spends. So, he spends his summer vacation at hill station. Number 10, Jimmy dash to eat fruit. Jimmy, Aisha, you are giving me 2 answers. Insha, you are right. Aliza, you are right. Menhel, you are right. Fabiha, again, you are right, beta. Bariha, you are right. Jimmy likes to eat fruits. So this is the exercise of simple present tense, which consists of 10 sentences. You'll do it in your exercise copy with the heading of simple present tense and take the screenshot of the slide. Okay, I hope simple present tense is clear to you. Now let's move to the simple past tense. The past simple tense, also called the simple past, is used for the past actions that happen either at a specific time. We can either be given by a time phrase like yesterday, last year, etc., are understood from the context. So in simple present past tense, we use regular verbs or irregular verbs. So regular verbs, we either add ed to the base form or d if the verb ends with e. And irregular verbs can change in many different ways. The verb form is same for all the person. So the past tense is used to express the actions that happen in the past or happen one after the other. Here the signal words may be last night, yesterday, last Monday, in 1997, an hour ago. Okay, so this is simple past tense definition. Now let's look at the structure. I is the subject. We use solve. This is a simple past verb, second form of verb, and the sum is the object. So let's look at the positive or affirmative structure. Subject, simple past, verb, second form plus object. Example, he played football. Negative structure, subject, did plus not plus verb's first form plus object. Now here we are using the verb's first form of verb because did, which is an auxiliary verb or a helping verb, is already in the past. So we will use the verb first form because it's indicating the past tense here. So we use the base form of the verb, that is the verb's first form. He did not play football. He did not play football. Okay, so we use not after the auxiliary verb, that is did, for the negative sentence. Okay, the auxiliary verbs are the helping verbs. Okay, they help the main verb to describe an action that happened in the past or present or is happening now or it will happen in the future. So now let's look at the question. That is the interrogative sentence as a structure. Did plus subject plus base form of verb plus object plus question. Here the sentence starts with the auxiliary verb and ends with a question mark in the interrogative sentence. So again, as the auxiliary verb is in the past tense, we'll use the base form of verb, that is the verb's first form. So the example to this is, did he play football? Now let's look at the usages and example. Actions happen at a definite time. She went to the park an hour ago. That means an hour ago shows an definite time. Actions that happen one after the other. That means they are occurring one after the other. He ordered pizza was the first action. Then he received the pizza at home and then he ate it. So these are the actions occurring one after the other. The actions are the stage that finish in the past, that have already finished. His mother used to wash his clothes. That means his mother used to do a certain work for him in the past. So these are the past tense. Now we'll compare the present and the past sentences. You live in Spain. You lived in Spain. You live is in present and lived is the past. Present, he lives in Spain. Past, he lived in Spain. So here the verb only changed in affirmative form. We change the verb in affirmative form in the past tense. In the negative, in the present, you don't live in Spain. You didn't live. Again, here we are not changing the verb because did is the auxiliary verb in the past. He doesn't live in Spain present. He didn't live in Spain. Again, the verb is not being changed. Do you live in Spain? Did you live in Spain? Did is the auxiliary verb in the past, so it is the live is in first form. Does he live in Spain? Did he live in Spain? In negative and interrogative sentences, the verb does not change. Okay, now let's look at the exercise. Fill in the blanks with the past tense form of the verb. Now, the farmer dashed rice last year. Grow. Now, what's the past tense of the verb grow? Let's see. Grew. Ishar. Yes, Aisha. Fabiha. Grown is the third form, beta. You're wrong. Okay, Minhal Fatma, you are right. The correct answer is grew. The farmer grew rice last year. We dash happy yesterday. Feel. Let's see who answers me the second form of verb. Minhal Fatma, yes, beta, you are right. Ishal, you are right. Fabiha, again, you are right. Aisha Abdul Jabbar, you are right. Ishal, Alina, you are right, beta. Felt is the answer. He felt happy yesterday. She dashed her last week. Now the verb. Now let's see who gives me the third form of verb. Ishal, Minhal. Wrote Minhal Fatma? No. Work is the word, beta. ED will come. Okay. She worked hard last week. I dashed him yesterday. The verb is meet. Let's see who gives me the second form of meet. Ishal, Aisha, yes. Ariba, good. Met. I met him yesterday. Last year, I dashed to England on holiday. I went to England on holiday. Go will change to when. Ishal, Ariba, Vanya, very good beta. Alia dash a lot of work this morning. Do. Who will go, is going to give me the past form of the verb? Do, did. Very good. Now, it dash fantastic. Be. Who will give me the second form of the verb be? Be. Was. Who replied to me with was? Vanya. Vanya, you are correct, beta. It was fantastic. Have you dashed the rent? Pay. Amna, Manahil and Fatma, you were right, beta. Pay. No, paid spelling is wrong, Aisha. Aisha, Fabia, you're writing the spelling of paid wrong. Let's see, what's the spelling of the paid? P-A-I-D, paid. Have you paid the rent? We dashed television all afternoon. Now, watch. Watched. Okay. She dashed a new bicycle last month. Buy. Bought. Now let's look at the simple future tense. Future simple tense is used to express an action that will occur or happen in the future. It is used to describe an action which will happen in the near or far future after being said about it by the speaker. So the it is tense is used to express the actions in the future. There can be decisions, assumptions, or prediction. For example, it will be summer soon. So the signal words will be tomorrow, next week, next month, in a month. So let's see. We will look at the structure of simple future tense. Structure, positive, that is affirmative, subject, will plus verb's first form plus object. John will buy a torch is the example. Negative, structure, subject, will plus not plus verb's first form plus object. John will not buy a torch. Question mark, structure, will plus subject, verb's first form of verb plus object plus question mark. Will John buy a torch? So this is the structure of the simple future tense. Now let's see the usages and examples. Used to express predictions about the future. There will be next generation robots in 2050. That is, we are predicting about the future. To express future decisions, I will attend a meeting next Monday. That means we are going to attend a meeting in the future. To express promise or offer, I will help you cook meal. That means you are going to promise someone to help cook meal. To express actions that are not in your control, it will be Sunday tomorrow. Now let's see the exercise. These are some examples. I will come, affirmative, I will not come. Will I come? You will come. Negative, you will not come. Interrogative, will you come? He will come. Affirmative, he will not come. Will he come? She will come. Affirmative, she will not come. Negative, interrogative, will she come? It will come. It will not come. Will it come? Okay, we will come. We will not come. Will we come? They will come. They will not come. Will they come? So let's look at the exercise. Fill in the blank with the simple future form of the verbs. We dash this together. Do. Will do. Insha, you are right. Yes. People dash new things. Invent. People will answer. Will invite, invent. Yes, Vanya, you are right. Manahil Parvez, you are right. Vanya Khurram, you are right. Ima, you are right. Minhil Fatma, Aisha Abdul Jabbar, Fabiha, Ariba Irfan, yes. Number 3, you dash your bag. Fine. Yes, Vanya Khurram, Aisha, Manahil, correct. You will find your bag. My friend will have an exam next week. Have. Aisha, yes, will have. Ima, yeah, you are right, will have. He dash here on Friday. Be. Yes, who's going to answer? Manahil Parvez Aziz, yes. Ishal Kainat, yes. Aliza, yes, will be here on Friday. She dash the fine tomorrow. She will remit. Aisha Abdul Jabbar, yes, you are right. It dash soon. It dash soon. Who will answer? The verb is rain. Yes, Aisha Abdul Jabbar, Ima, Manahil Parvez, Minhil Fatma, Hafsa Nisar, Namira Hamid, yes, will rain soon. I dash an English course soon. Launch. Aisha Abdul Jabbar, you are right, will launch. He dash a new business next month. He will start. Okay. I dash a novel. Will start. Okay, here the answers are upside down. The answer to number 10 is of number 9 and that of number 9 is of number 10. As a misprint here, you will write, he will start a new business next month and I will write a novel. Okay, so these are the correct answer. I made it correct for you. I hope you have done it. This is the correct slide. Keep it in mind and copy it down. I take the slide shot of the slide. So now you will be doing the exercises of simple present tense, past tense and future tense in your copies. Okay, now let's come to our next topic. This is the writing topic of our book. Your uncle has called to talk to your father, but your father is not home. Read the conversation between your uncle and you. Uncle, hello, this is your uncle. This is Uncle Robert. Is your father at home? Now you, hello Uncle Robert. My father has gone to the barber. May I take a message for him? Uncle, all right, please tell your father that Mr. Charles will arrive tonight and he will have to pick him up from the airport. Now what are you replying? What time is the flight, Uncle? Uncle, his flight is at 9:30 p.m. and he will wait for your father at the arrival gate. Mr. Charles will be in his wheelchair. Please ask your father to drive Mr. Charles to the hotel. Now you, what is the name of the hotel? Uncle, the Imperial Hotel. I will meet them there. You, all right, Uncle. I will pass this message to my father when he returns home. Uncle, thank you. Goodbye. So this was the conversation between Uncle and you. So now, how did you sum it up that Uncle Robert told you that that Mr. Charles is going to arrive at the airport at 9:30. He will be at the arrival gate. He will be on his wheelchair. So your father has to drive him to the Imperial Hotel, and Uncle Robert, will meet him there. So now write the message for your father. Course book, page number 18. This is your course book, page number 18. So now, to father from Uncle Robert, and the message is I have written in a short form. Uncle Robert left the message that Mr. Charles will arrive tonight at the airport at 9:30 p.m. You have to pick him up from the arrival gate. He will be in his wheelchair. You have to drive him to the Imperial Hotel. Uncle Robert will meet you there. So now take the screenshot of the slide and do it in your course book, page number 18, with a blue ink pen. Now, what's your hobby? This is the essay topic, my hobby. So now, hobbies we already discussed when we did our poem. Okay, the collector of the slides read. So what our hobbies do? So now, hobbies keep you busy and active. Yes. Then, you do it in your spare time. It improves your creativity. It reduces stress. It improves your knowledge. It's done regularly and develop your mental abilities. Now let's look at the essay, my hobby. This is the first para of your essay, that's the introductory para. A hobby is considered to be a regular activity that is done in spare time for enjoyment, to keep ourselves busy and happy. Hobbies include collecting things, engaging in creative pursuits, playing sports, etc. Hobbies play an important role in our lives. So this is the introductory para. Now the main body. I have always had a love for nature, so my hobby is gardening. Gardening provides us with a good exercise for the day. It teaches us to work with our own hands. It brings us into close contact with nature. It is a pleasure to dig the flower beds and water canals. It also teaches us the wonders of plant life. It gives me pleasure to watch seeds sprout into beautiful flowers with tiny leaves and blooming flowers. I also learn suitable conditions needed for plants to grow. My garden gives me fresh vibes when I enter in it. I really enjoy green grass with colorful flowers and healthy vegetables. When others appreciate and admire it, I feel proud of my efforts. That's the main body. Now let's look at the ending para. So hobbies make us active and fresh. We should utilize our time wisely and energize ourselves through a hobby. Hobby is a great escape from the real world and make us cherish. It also expands our knowledge. Now, this was the essay. I'm showing it to you. Take the screenshot of the slide and you have to do it in your composition portion of your copy where you have already done your letter. You have made a composition portion and you have done the letter there. So take the screenshot of the slides. Okay. Take the screenshot. Okay, I hope you have taken the screenshot. Now let's look at the homework. Do exercise of simple present, past and future tense in your copy. Do the writing topic of course book, page number 18 in the course book only. Do the writing topic of verb book, page 9 in your English copy. And write the essay in the composition side of the portion. Now this is the writing page of your workbook which you have to do as your home task. It is a creative work. You have to write a story in the form of a poem. In your notebook, write a poem about an interesting person you know or an interesting character that you have read about in the book. You will write your poem in 3 stanzas and have about 4 lines in each stanza. Describe where, when, what, why, and who are involved. Express your feeling, use rhyming words, and use the past tense. In the first stanza, you describe the person, who is it, and what's the character of the person. In the second, what are the things about that person, and why do you think about him like that. And stanza 3, why do you think of this person? What do you think about this person, and why? So that's your creative work which you'll need to do in the... So Munazza Heather, you have raised your hand. You have any query? Ask me, beta. Munazza. I'll show you all the slides again. That's all for today. Okay, fine. Hope you enjoyed the class. Okay.